Hi, I'm Bonnie Barker with BonnieBayCrochet.com, and in celebration of National Crochet Month, this is 2017, I wanted to offer a free crochet tutorial for my Cascade Yarns crocheted cable cowl. This is what we're going to make. These are really fun to wear, great for wintertime. They can actually be really good for this time of the year in the spring when the weather's not sure whether it wants to be cold or warm or somewhere in between. Well, anyway, this is just a one hank project. I'm highly recommending you try Cascade's Heritage Silk. That would be 85% merino superwash wool and 15% silk. Okay, one hank comes 437 yards. And the other thing you're going to need is a size G or 6 crochet hook and a yarn needle or a darning needle just to hide a loose end or two. There's only going to be 2 at the very most with this project, so that's a lot of fun too. You're not going to have to spend a lot of time hiding strings. Well, anyway, why don't you come along with me and we can do this project. You could probably knock it out in a day or 2. All right, God bless. Let's go ahead and begin this. Just quickly, I'll just state that the gauge for this is done in the double crochet ribbing, which we're going to begin. And let's see, 11 stitches should be approximately 2 inches. 4 rows should be approximately 1 inch. I'm also using a size G or 6 crochet hook. And let's go ahead and begin. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to chain 121 stitches. So I'm going to go ahead and make my slip knot. And I'm going to count very carefully 121. And I like to count in groups of 5. So that was 5. 1, 2. That's 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm going to go ahead and count to 121 and then I'll return. Okay, now that I have my chain of 120 chains, I'm going to go ahead and very evenly, without twisting the chain, I'm going to try to find the first. I'm going to try to make a big circle. Okay, I'm going to slip stitch this together like so. Then I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2. I'm going to double crochet in the same place where I just joined. Then I'm also going to start hiding this strand at the same time. I'm going to crochet on top of that. Okay, so you see my circle looks about like this, and I'm going to double crochet in each stitch around. When I'm finished, I should have 121 stitches plus the turning chain. I'm not counting the turning chain as a stitch in this count. Okay, so, and as you see, like I said, I'm going to try to hide this stitch at the same time, or rather the strand, so it'll be pretty well hidden when I finish this round. I'm going to double crochet in each stitch around and then I will return. Okay, now that I've worked all the way around the chain, putting a double crochet in each chain, I'm going to connect this not at the chain but at the top of the very first double crochet with the slip stitch. Simply a slip stitch. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do, we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we are going to work a front post double crochet and then a back post double crochet all the way around, ending with a front post double crochet in the last stitch since we have an odd number. Okay, and if you are new to front post stitches, instead of going in the top like so, what we're going to do is we're going to give the stitch a belt like so. We're going to wrap the hook and then we're going to go in the front door and come out the side door for a front post double crochet, and then we just complete the double crochet as normal, like you would do in a regular way. For a back post, which is what we do next, we're going to wrap the stitch and we're going to come in the back door, go around the front of the stitch and go out the back side door and pull up a loop yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, just like you would complete the double crochet. It's just that instead of going in through the top, you're going it around, you're giving it a belt. If it's a front post double crochet, we go in the front side like so. If it's a back post, we come in the back side, go around the stitch completely and complete it like that. Okay, I'm going to do a couple more of these just to demonstrate. Front post double crochet and then a back post double crochet, front post double crochet, come around, back post double crochet. I'm going to do this all the way around, and then I'll show you what it looks like when I complete this round. Okay, now that we've come to the end of the round, I'm going to join with a slip stitch in the first DC, or first front post of the round. I'm going to chain 2, and the pattern says for rounds 3 and 4 to repeat round 2. Okay, so I'm going to start off on round 3, and I'm going to actually complete round 3 and round 4 before I give the next instructions when I come back. But I'm going to go ahead and start here. We're going to do front post double crochet, and when you're doing this, make sure that the front post is done over another front post from the previous round, and also we do not have to turn any of these rounds, or at least not yet. Okay, now I'm going to do a back post double crochet, and there's a front post. I'm going to do a front post there, and then a back post over the back post double crochet. Okay, so the ribbing, this is what this is called, should continue to grow. You know, should continue to form, you know, longer lines as you do round 3 and round 4. So go ahead and complete those rounds, and then I will show you how to begin the cabling. Okay, I'm now at the end of row 4. I have 1, 2, 3. This is my 4th row, and I'm going to front post and a last stitch like so. Let's go ahead and get through both of those. There you go. And now I'm just going to connect with a slip stitch at the top of the first front post double crochet of the round. Okay, so that completes the first 4 rows, which is the ribbing. Okay, now this is row 5, and I'm going to begin the cable. I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and the directions say to skip 2 stitches. So that's 1, 2 stitches, and I'm going to work a front post treble in the next 2 stitches. So I've wrapped my hook twice. I'm doing a front post treble. It's just doing a treble crochet, but again, we're wrapping it around the post. Now I'm going to also do a front post in this one as well. Even though it's a back post, we're no longer doing ribbing, we're into the cabling. Now it says working in front of the last 2 stitches, so working in front of these, I'm going to front post treble in the 2 skipped stitches right here. So I'll do the first one that I skipped, and then the second one. Okay, and we've just completed our first cable. Okay, so the directions now say we're going to do that around. So what we're going to do is everything within the brackets, we're going to do that all the way around. So I'll do a couple more for you. So it says to skip the next 2 stitches, then we're going to front post treble in the next 2, wrap it twice, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and now we're going to work in front of these 2 stitches, and we are going to do the 2 that we skipped. Now do be careful that you don't crochet in once you've already crocheted in. Like for example, you can see these stitches have been crocheted around. It might be a little tricky at first seeing that. And always do the one furthest from you first, and then this one, the second one. Alright, I'm going to do that one more time, and then I'm going to do it all the way around. Skip 2, treble the next 2, and working in front of these 2 stitches, I'm going to treble and the next 2. Whoops, let's do that again. I pulled it through too many loops. Okay, now I'm going to do this all the way around, and I'll show you how to connect this back. Okay, at the end of this round, you're simply going to join with the slip stitch at the top of the very first treble crochet. Now we're going to chain 2, and I like to turn. I like to work this next row with the back side facing. If you prefer to work it with the front side facing, you can, but I think it's easier for the stitches to grab working from the back side. So this round we are simply going to chain 2, which we've already done, back post, double crochet in each stitch around, and then join with a slip stitch to top of first stitch of row. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. So you're going to simply do a back post double crochet. It's not a treble, it's a double crochet. And remember, there are 4 stitches. You may have to work that hook around to get those 4 stitches. Sometimes it's a little tricky at the cross, but the crossing of the cable. Just working back post double crochet, 4 around each stitch of every cable. So I'll go ahead and work that all the way around and then show you the join once I get back. Now that we've come to the end of the round, we're simply going to connect with a slip stitch to the very first back post double crochet, just like that. Now I'm going to chain, let's see, chain 3, 1, 2, whoops, 3. I'm going to turn back around. Now we're ready for another cable row. So I'm just going to go ahead and read the directions and explain, and kind of give you a big chunk of an assignment here. Round 7 through 20, we are simply going to repeat rounds 5 and 6, just like we've just done, 7 times more. So we have 1 cable begun here, so we're going to do another cable row, and then we'll then we'll do the round with the back post double crochet. We're going to do both of those 7 times more, and when we're done, we should be able to count 8 rounds, or I should say 8 cables vertically. All right, so let's go ahead and I'll start this. Remember, we're going to skip the 2 stitches. We're going to front post double crochet, and the next 2 stitches, whoops, make sure I get it in the right place. Okay, get a little more yarn. And now working in front of these last 2 stitches just made, I'm going to front post double crochet in the 2 stitches just skipped. And I'm just going to do that all the way around, just like we did in round 5. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to complete rounds 7 through 20, and then I will show you what you should have, and it's very close to being completed at that point. I'll go ahead and finish this cable for you. Okay, so let me show you how this is starting to look like some cables here. Okay, so go ahead and do rounds 7 through 20, and then we will compare what we have. Okay, now that we've worked rows 7 through 20, I wanted to show you what you should have. Okay, so we have, let's go ahead and count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cables, or rows of cables, which actually 16 rows, but each of them taking up 2 rows. But anyway, so you should be able to count 8 cables there. Let me also show you something else. It is a bit curly around the top. All right, when you're working on this row, that may do that. Actually, it will do that. It's normal, and I don't want you to worry about that. So let me go ahead, and then we're gonna. It's coming undone a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and begin the remainder of this is, which is rows 21 through 24. Okay, I'm going to start by chaining 2, and this is just like the ribbing we did at the beginning. Okay, so I'm going to front post double crochet and then work a back post double crochet, and we're going to do this all the way around just like we did the first, actually for the very first row, actually second row. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and work this front post, back post, front post, back post. Then I'm going to join with the slip stitch at the end of the round to the first stitch here, the top of the first double crochet, and then I will continue doing rows 22 through 24, which again would be working a front post and a front post, a back post and a back post, front post, back post, front post, back post. And there's no reason or need to turn at the end of these 3 rows. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish rows 21 through 24, and then I'll show you what we will have after that. Okay, I've just finished working the ribbing rows all the way around. I've chained 1, pulled my yarn tight so that I can hide the strand, fasten off. I just wanted to show you a quick and easy way to hide this one strand that we need to hide. We simply thread our yarn needle like so, and we want to do this with the back side facing us. I'm just going to simply go down into the stitches like so. There's not any real specific, strands we have to do this in. We just want to do it in such a way that it is hidden from the front. Okay, so I'm going to run it down like this. I'm going to go a couple more stitches down, and there's going to be a lot of elasticity and with the silk in this yarn, it can be a little slippery. So I'm going to actually kind of go back up the next row like so. Okay, because that way it's not going to just pull one direction. Okay, and I'm going to very carefully trim it. Be very sure that you do not cut your stitches when you do that. Okay, and it is completely hidden. So let me show you what we have here. Okay, very nice, very fun cowl, nice and soft, a little pretty, pretty flexible, and you can make these to go with, various colors to go with whatever you have in your wardrobe. Let me show you one thing. When you wear this, the top chain, this is the foundation chain right here, you're going to want to wear that up to the top. Let that be the top, and the bottom row is much more flexible, so that will easily adjust down to around the collar. All right. Okay, that ends this video. If you enjoyed this project and you want to learn more cables, do me a favor. If you could please subscribe to my channel, and that way you won't miss out on any of the new projects, both large and small, that I'm posting on my YouTube channel. Really appreciate it. God bless.